I am a broken man. No. To answer the video title, quite simply, no. I could not learn to backflip in 3 hours. I don't know if anybody can, but I definitely could not. So instead of even attempting to frame this thing as even a remote challenge that is even kind of possible, I'm just gonna tell you my story of how in every way it wasn't. Before we get started, if you're new here, this is day 5 of making one good video every single day for the entire month of July. So if you want to see more stuff kind of similar to this is kind of like an offshoot of the typical stuff, but there's stuff that's similar to this. If you want to see that, feel free to stick around. But anyway, let's get into the story time, shall we? So let's set the scene. Imagine you're me trying to do this challenge where you're trying to make 31 different videos, where you're in a situation where you're trying to do one of these videos, and not only is nobody available, but on top of that, it's going to rain piss buckets. Like, we're talking, the weather is saying that it's going to rain a lot. What do? Well, obviously, you gotta make a contingency because you need to film. You need to do something, but you can't do what you had initially planned. So this something that I came up with in my very short amount of time was trying to learn how to do a backflip, because I thought it would be entertaining. I mean, I wasn't wrong about the entertaining part, because oh boy is it fun to watch. Oh boy, was this stupid. So I had gone to Trace's house to plan on what to do, and whenever I came to this conclusion of trying to learn to do a backflip, I just said, screw it, I'll do it now, and went into his backyard and started filming. I had looked up a YouTube video on how to learn how to do a backflip, and it made sense. What the structure that it kind of laid out for you was start by having one hand on the ground and doing a spin around it. Just do a spin sideways, and then over time kind of work that spin to be more vertical and get less sideways until you eventually start going fully backwards. And then, once you're starting to go pretty far back, kind of remove your hand at the start the flip, add your hand after, and then finish the flip, and then keep doing that, using your hand less and less until you just grip it and rip it and do the full thing. Which makes sense. You start with your hand, which acts as a kind of support, and you kind of slowly get over that fear of going from sideways to backwards, and you're kind of building up that confidence to throw yourself backwards and not land on your neck. Hopefully. So I started flailing my body wildly. I did spin after spin after spin, and oh my god, that was bad. All of it was bad. It was all just kind of really bad and kind of difficult to watch because it definitely felt a lot different than it looked. And I'm not one person who has typically done a lot of physical things in my life, so I don't have full motor controls over the entirety of my body to the extent that I think I do. And it felt a lot cooler than it looked. But trust me, it feels really cool until you go and look at it on camera and realize, why do I look like a dying walrus? Once I realized that I looked like shit while doing this, I had to figure out why. Why did I look so stupid? Maybe it was my dumbass slacks rolled up to my knees with my belt and tucked shirt that made me look like SpongeBob. Maybe it was my hair being stupid that day. Maybe it was the lighting. Maybe it was the fact that, I don't know, I'm not even doing a full spin, doing it halfway and eating shit. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing in this, which was a full spin. I was doing half a spin, not even realizing that I wasn't doing a full spin, which is part of the reason why I looked so bad doing this. So I went, alright, well I guess I gotta try to do a full spin now. I kept spinning and I spun and I spun and I spun and I spun, and it was getting closer-ish, but not really. It took a while. It took a lot of spinning. A lot of spinning before I even got close to looking like something that was passable. I had essentially spent an entire hour stumbling about and trying to figure out how to do a spin. So let's go into a montage of that, shall we? Oh, that was so bad. Yeah, we're doing this with no padding because padding is for wusses. If you need padding, you're a baby. Actually, I take that back. I feel like I'll get struck down with everything. Use padding. Be safe. I'm just stupid. No, it's not. It's too side. It's too side. Oh, dude, that was so bad. Dude, I'm sucking. All of that just to not even go backwards. As it turned out, the reason why I couldn't get myself all the way up and around was because I had the brilliant idea of putting my legs way out in front of my body. Totally, what definitely would have happened is that would have given me more angular momentum and pushed me out more. No, it just makes the force that you do exponentially weaker because you don't have the power of your quads beneath you. Don't do that. Put your legs beneath yourself whenever you start. So now I had figured the spinning thing out for the most part. And now what I had to deal with was getting more back. Like the video said, I needed to get more towards a backflip instead of a spinning on my arm, ooh thing, you know? That's what I started working on next. I started getting myself back a little bit more, so I kept spinning and spinning and spinning, and hey, that was kind of a flip. And then spinning some more, and then flipping some more, and then getting closer and closer. It's like, okay, that's not bad. Now, I say this now, but this was over the span of about an hour and a half. About half of my time is gone, and I am only about a third of the way through the steps. And the guy said that the last two are the ones that you're gonna have to be the most patient with. I haven't finished the first one. And for some reason, I had the bright idea of, before I was going fully backwards on my arm, that I should skip right to the next step and try to start without my arm. Don't do that. Get fully acquainted with going all the way back, full flip on your arm before you go to the next step. I didn't do this because I'm a dipshit. And this dipshittery led to me having copious amounts of fear when it came to jumping backwards. Because I had this fear, I tried so many different things to try to get over that fear. I tried hyping myself up. I tried singing yeet songs. I tried listing out differential calculus formulas, not equations, formulas. I tried everything to take my mind off of it so I could just hype myself up and do it. It didn't work. It's like that feeling whenever you're about to like step into a really cold thing, like a shower, and you're like, oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna be really cold. I don't wanna do this. And it's really difficult to push through that. Except, imagine 10 cold showers simultaneously. The fear was just so bad. It was so insurmountable. No matter how much I tried, no matter what I tried to do, I just couldn't get over that. And to make things even worse, my legs started to hurt. Oh boy, did my legs start to hurt. My calf was starting to cramp. I realized that if I didn't drink enough water, there's a pretty solid chance I was gonna get a Charlie horse really soon. So I needed to take a break. I went inside and I took a little break, drank some water, made sure I was fully rested and hydrated to make sure that I didn't kill myself. Because I didn't want to have a heat stroke or have a Charlie horse. I didn't want to go through that and try to do this on top of it. But when you try to do something stupid, your body finds a way of telling you you're doing something stupid. That being shutting your body down. I sat down on Trace's bed to take a little rest, to take a little break, and I ended up falling asleep for 30 minutes. I now have less than an hour left to finish learning this thing. By the time I had woken up, I realized I had fallen asleep and was like, shit, I need to go back and film. And then whenever I had gotten up, my legs refused to work. They didn't work. They didn't do. This was only an hour and a half in. Why was this? Well, because whenever you go to do a backflip, you squat down a little bit. But whenever you go to learn to do a backflip, you get all the way down. You get deep in there. And I had done that a lot probably over 100 times, probably well over 100 times. I had gone down and either flipped, which is basically a jumping squat, but worse because you're trying to go back and you need to exert everything in your legs in order to do that. So I had essentially done 100 deep squats with a jumping squat, and then I also combined that with a lot of me going down to prepare to flip, and then pussying out and not actually flipping. My legs were naturally destroyed. They did not want to work at all. I could barely stand, let alone flip. But a video has to be done. So, after about another 15 to 20 minutes of resting, I had decided to go back out and try to see if I could make any more progress within the allotted time. But because I didn't have enough experience going fully back, I was still scared. I was still utterly incapable of actually starting the flip. Even with the knowledge that I was going to plant my hand, I couldn't start it. It was so numbing to try to start something and then know that you're gonna be fine. You're gonna plant your arm. There's literally no way you could get hurt right now. To still then be utterly petrified and know what your problem is and then be unable to solve it. That is damning. That hurts because you feel useless. You're like, I can't even do a simple flip. I can't even do something as simple that I know that I will be okay doing. I can't do this. Why can't I not do this? Well, I couldn't do it because I wasn't prepared enough yet. I hadn't practiced doing the things that I needed to practice enough yet. So I sat there trying to psych myself out for another 40 minutes. It didn't work. Go figure. It did not work. But it was getting late in the day. It was pretty much 4:30 at this point. I needed to go home and edit a video. I needed to get productive, and it was about to rain. So I called it because there was no way that I was getting any more progression done in my current state. I had done so many squats, very deep squats, mind you, and a lot of very explosive movement. Oh my God, my legs were on fire. My calves were burning like you would never believe. I don't know how, but whenever I was doing some of my squats, I had used my calves more than I had used my quads in some instances. How do you even do that? It's a squat. You use your quads to get up, but somehow I was using my calves more than my quads. How does one do that? But I figured it out. But I went home and my legs were very sore. But I was not prepared for what I would awake to the following morning. When I woke up, oh my goodness, everything hurt. It didn't occur to me whenever I was learning to do the backflip, but it takes a lot more than just your legs to do a backflip. You have to keep your core engaged the entire time. You have to kind of use your entire back to bring your chest out and keep your core straight. So whenever I had woken up, I tried to sit up and immediately couldn't move a muscle. My abs, there's a gnat and it's pissing me off. It just flew 2 inches from my face. I don't know if you've ever tried to do something with your body and just couldn't. It's scary, especially when you just wake up. It's like you're sat there trying to move and it's like, I can't move. And just everything hurt. My abs, my abs hurt so bad. They were so sore. Whenever I contracted myself forward, even the slightest amount, my core was on fire. I was on fire. It was so bad. Trying to combine burn with bad in the same word. I don't know if you know, I sleep up there. I'm currently underneath my bed because I have a loft bed. And my ladder is basically if you just took out half of the rungs of the ladder, but not like every other one. I mean like a group of 3 at the top and then a group of 2 at the bottom, leaving just a chunk in the middle and a chunk at the very top and a chunk at the very bottom. Getting out of bed whenever your everything hurts, whenever you are a foot and a half from the ceiling. I don't know if you know this, but let me let you in on an industry secret here. It's very painful. Who would have guessed? Oh my God. Did I spend that day sitting down? I couldn't move. My mom asked me if I could do the dishes. Mom, I could barely stand. It hurt to exist. Whenever I went to go sit down, I had to sit down like I had just hemorrhaged my entire anus. But the content had to go on, so I had to keep filming throughout the week. And those things are the following videos that you're gonna see. I don't recall what they are right now, but you're gonna see them. And I'm gonna recall tomorrow whenever I'm editing it. I spent the last week in egregious amounts of pain and soreness. That's how I've been dealing with my failure. It just as a constant reminder of my inability to learn how to backflip. Moral of the story, don't try to learn to backflip in just 3 hours. Give yourself more time, give yourself a couple weeks. You're going to hurt yourself, like I did. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story time-esque challenge video. Whenever I fail these challenges really miserably, I'm gonna turn them into more of a story time. Just as a bit of a side note for future reference, these challenges are whenever something doesn't go right in my planning, and I have to figure something out in order to make a video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in tomorrow's video, and roll the outro. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider subscribing because it would mean the world to me. I plan to make a lot more videos even better than this one, and I promise you will not regret it. And special thank you to everybody who's over on Patreon, specifically Elias, who is my first tier 3 member. If you also want to have your name at the end of the video, along with a ton of other perks such as behind the scenes, exclusive content, and so much more, then you can join my Patreon for just $3 a month with the link in the description. And even if you don't, still, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Later. I'm talking about how I had to sit down when my legs were destroyed from Monday. I was using an analogy.